of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, roll call.
Roll call, Alan Horning. Barb. Debbie. Tamitha.
Here.
Leslie. Ken.
Present.
Alan Michelson.
Here.
Bud. Here. Thank you.
Leslie has an ill family member, so she probably won't make it. She's gonna try. Okay, you have the minutes. If there's no questions or corrections on the minutes, we need a motion to accept them as written. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Gary, you have the new bills?
Yes, we have one adder for $2,617.04. Brings the revised bills for March up to $21,641.12. We have a motion to approve the bills
So moved.
as amended. Thank you.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The new bill is for the snow plowing.
Correct.
Has that got that full of everything on it? Bill, is everybody get a copy of that or not?
You already signed that. Increase the Lafayette Township.
Yeah, I was just gonna mention about the polar bear snow.
Okay, yeah, that's, Alan has a number $343 for the polar bear, I believe, on that Lafayette bill.
It's not in addition to the bill,
Correct, it's part of the
it's
bill.
part of it.
When the polar bear took place, Lafayette Township came over, and did some plowing and stuff like they always do that day, and, this year it got on our snowplow bill, so, it's gonna be, we're gonna pay the bill, but the Lions Club is paying us, what is it, 383?
340.
343, 348.
$343, they're gonna reimburse the bill, so. Okay. Well, here it is March again, here I'm wearing this old shirt that you don't put yours on.
I looked once.
And every March I like to mention Briarwood Beach's Mayor Leonard English, who declared St. Patrick's Day a legal holiday in our village, not in our village, in Briarwood Beach, but when we merged and became Chippewa Lake, we adopted it as ours too. So we're the only place in the United States that has St. Patrick's Day as a legal holiday. And in order to celebrate this holiday in our village, we do absolutely nothing. We have mail, we have everything, but it's something to talk about. And Len English was the mayor, he was of Briarwood Beach, he was very Irish. He got the Lord Mayor of Dublin, no less, to declare a legal holiday here, and he's in the congressional record. That fact is in the congressional record also, so.
And Time Magazine reported.
And it's in the original Trivial Pursuit game. Okay, now we know. I don't know if you guys all saw the letter that Leslie wrote Saturday. Saturday, they had a retirement party for Randy Kmart at Cross Point Church, and Leslie wrote a beautiful letter from the council and the mayor, thanking Cross Point and Randy for all the service they've done in this village. And she was nice enough to take it over there, and they read it to the congregation. So I understand everybody's very pleased with it, and I want to thank her publicly for doing that for us. And I know that you guys, you know, they've done a lot of that work at Cross Point. There's Sundays every month they go out and do something for a community or person. And there's been a few times when they've come into this village and they came into train up on the park, Humboldt Bay Park, cleaned up people's property. It's just been a helpful source in this community. So Randy is not leaving that church. He's going to be around, I think, teaching some classes and so forth, and occasionally maybe give a sermon, but he basically is retiring. So they're a good member of our community, and I thought we really need to thank them for all they've done. Okay, enough of that. Now we'll go to safety. Tamsa.
Hello. First thing I want to do is thank the Sheriff's Department and the Lafayette Township Fire Department for their presence and participation at the polar plunge, the polar jump on the 14th. It was a great day. If anybody was there, it was a good day to jump. If you were going to do it, that would have been the day to do it. So thank you guys for doing what you do and keeping us safe and being there. And then Chief Kavanaugh, if you want to go ahead and go first, because I have you first on my slideshow. Sorry.
We had 62 calls in February, 41 during the day and 21 at night. 2 were in Chatham, 2 in the city of Medina, 1 in Harrisville Township, 1 in Hinkley Township, 42 in Lafayette, 1 in Litchfield, 6 in Chippewa, 4 in Glory Glens, 1 in Lodi, 1 in Westfield, and 1 in York Township. Our average turnout time is 2 minutes and 35 seconds. Year to date is 2 minutes and 22 seconds. And on-scene time is 6 minutes and 37 seconds. 60% are EMS calls, and the rest are fire and other related service calls. We received mutual aid 3 times. We gave mutual aid to Westfield once, York, Earhart once, Litchfield once, Chatham once, Medina City twice, Hinkley once, and Lodi twice. A couple things we've been doing. The Lions Club, Polar Plunge, is a great community event. We love doing that, and hopefully we can invite every year. It's a great time. We have been awarded $3,746.44 for the EMS training and equipment grant. The Ohio Division EMS is included in the report. We submitted for the training reimbursement grant, but unfortunately the state ran out of funds, so we were not able to get that grant. We're still waiting on a pending $15,000 grant for turnout here. Myself and Assistant Chief Olsman, Lieutenant Derek Powell, Rob Haas, Jessica Roseball, and Kelly Parker attended Winning the Fire Ground in Brunswick, Ohio on February 5th. And engine 2's pressure sensor was replaced, and that's all I have. Any questions for me?
No, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so Sheriff's Report. I got that to look better. I'm very proud of myself. All right, so the hours, Deputy Harhay had 35 in the month of February. Yarborough had 25 and Lyon had 25, a total of 85 hours, which is a little over our target rate of 80. Miles logged were 531 and gallons of fuel used were 31.2. Everybody get time to see that? Because you can actually see it this time. I'm really excited about this.
Were
Sorry.
those extra hours just from the polar bear?
I don't know.
Come to
Where
this, polar plunge, yard work, so that was 3 hours, yeah. That's every year for that, and the 4th of July parade, we never counted it as monthly hours for regular patrol.
Deputy activities, we had a total of 78, which I think was a few more activities than last month. We had 1 domestic, 1 disturbance, 1 missing person, 1 that was labeled mental, extra patrol, only 5 Victor watches, which means people are probably coming back to the village, which seems early. 1 unauthorized use of vehicle, 1 suspicious person, 1 harassing phone call or text, an abandoned call, 1, assist other agency, 3, allergic reaction, 1, breathing problems, 4, disabled vehicle, 1, follow-up, 2, parking complaint 1, suspicious circumstances 1, traffic complaint, reckless op 1, fainting, somebody unresponsive 1, unwanted subject 1, water problem or a shut off 1, and a welfare check 2. Did I skip the extra patrol? Extra patrols were 46 this month. I feel like I skipped that. Any questions on any of those things?
Yeah, that one. The pancake breakfast is the 12th, 19th, and 26th with the association, so
Good to know.
I forgot to add that.
And that's the address for where it's being held,
Yep,
the same place?
Yep,
Okay.
fire station. And we're gonna use those funds actually this year to hopefully purchase a new boat, so we can conduct food and water rescues if needed on the one. So it's kind of a little issue. So.
I have a question for Bud. In the past, I used to bring you parking tickets, being you have a new position. Do you still want that to happen, or do you want to figure something else out?
I personally, I'm okay with that. It depends on
What is he asking?
Parking tickets.
parking tickets.
In the past, I would bring them to Bud's house, not like citations we write for the simple $20 parking tickets. I would bring them to Bud's house, being it's a civil more type thing, and he would handle it.
I photo them, send them to Gary, and give him a hard copy at the next meeting. I can do the same process. But
You want to do that, Tamara? What, are you okay with that, or what do you want?
I could probably do that if you want me to.
It's not like we have a ton of them, but
Right.
you guys just let me know.
yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Gotta learn how to do stuff, Tamara.
I do, yeah. I finally learned this computer thing. I also wanted to remind people about the non-emergency number, which is 330-725-6631, because it's warm today and there's a lot of activity in the village. So if you see something, don't call the mayor, don't call me, say something, but you want to call the non-emergency line. And then also Deputy Harhate will be retiring at the end of May, but he's going to stay on with the village. He has coverage, adequate coverage for us. He's going to be off of work for 8 weeks, is it? And he
It
has,
could take 2 months before I can get the sheriff's rehiring me after 2 months as a deputy at the courthouse. So, but during those 2 months, I'm still gonna come to the meetings and handle the payroll for you guys.
Yeah.
So it's,
he's going to do all of the paperwork and all the things that he does, that he shares with me, that I share with you. So he's not going to be gone, but he is not going to be on the sheriff's payroll for those 2 months until he's rehired.
in August, I get rehired.
And that, I believe, is all I have, unless anybody has any questions.
Explain this parking ticket thing, I'm not familiar with it.
I'd love to. Somebody can explain it to me.
So, yeah,
See, that's why you're getting it dirt.
Yeah.
Everybody's gotta learn this stuff.
A while back, the village elected to create a parking violations bureau, which means you handle your own parking tickets.
Okay.
And to do that, we got permission from the municipal court, and we had tickets printed. And the printed ticket, I think this is how old it is. I think it was $20.
Yeah.
$30 if you didn't get it, $48, something like that. But that's what it's printed on. It's printed on a form. But those can be filled out. You look up the owner, or
yeah, I would run the plate, because usually people aren't with the vehicle. So we run the plate, I'll write on the back of the ticket that we turn in, who the vehicle owner is, with their information. You put the ticket on the windshield. And it's different than a regular citation than the police. It becomes a civil issue if they don't pay it, where a traffic ticket, if you don't pay it, it's a criminal issue where we can put a warrant out for your arrest. But this is a civil issue, you can go to collections and stuff.
So you still have to give the person the ticket.
Not the person,
Well,
personally,
yeah.
we leave it on the windshield of the vehicle.
And then you give record to the village that this ticket has been issued, so we know.
Whoever, and they can handle it from there.
Okay.
basically the only teeth it has for enforcement is if a person gets 3, we can send that information to the DMV, and they will not allow them to register their vehicle when it comes time without paying. Or we can take them to court for the money, but we don't, for $20, it's not worth filing a small claims case. That's basically been in place a long time.
And we have criminal tickets if somebody's parks next to a fire hydrant, or more serious things, then we won't give those out, we'll do the standard citation, traffic citations for those. These are for your simple parking down at the beach parking lot without a permit, or on the side of the grass, stuff like that.
So parking in parks or something.
Yeah.
Right. Technically, you can't park in your lawn.
Unless it's a party.
Right, and you get permission
Or the
from
4th of
mayor
July.
for a one-time event.
And Barb, if you want to send me a picture of your dog, I'll display yours next month. I just didn't want the screen with Hulu and all those things before I logged in.
Anything else?
That's all I have.
Okay, thank you, gentlemen, for coming. Okay, we'll do zoning. Bud, can you do
Okay,
that for us tonight, Leslie's, please?
all right. This represents correspondence and or personal contact or both to residents throughout the village. Some of it represents discussing projects that they want to undertake. So I advise them as to what they need to consider before they jump in, and how they should proceed so that they have the best information available to them. Some require just a simple permit at the village level. Others are going to require a building permit from Medina County Building Department. There are several homes throughout the village that need love and care. And I've given those individuals a notice to correct. Now, what I'm telling them, it reflects what's in the code. You have 7 days. But what I've told them all is that you got 7 days to get the process started. Some are limited by their physicality, their age, their financial resources. So I will work with these individuals, but it's not going to be business as usual. They are going to make corrections, and they're going to take action. And they have done so. So I'm of the opinion, getting out and spending time with people, talking to them. One guy says, okay, I'll do it for you. I says, no, you're not going to do it for me. You're going to do it for yourself, your son, your neighbors, and the village. It has nothing to do with me. But if you don't respond and you persist with your lack of activity, you will eventually find yourself cited in court. So just make a decision of where you want to spend your money and your time. Doing a project at home, making progress, or going to court and spending your money on finding costs. Simple, not complicated. I've worked on determining how many rentals we have. And pardon me, rental is not a correct word, perhaps. In some instances, folks have more than one residence. Not that they necessarily live in it, but say, like in my case, we have an extra cottage. We lived there first, and then we built our house. The cottage is the family go-to spot, particularly in the summer months. That's not unlike some of you who own additional properties, or you have a family member living in one of your properties. But sum total, we got 43 homes, 43.
That are like flat out renters.
Some are renters, some are just additional properties that folks own. And I don't know what they're,
How many of them are the Airbnbs? I thought you guys get.
that is a complicated thing to unearth, Mayor, because to get any kind of response, you have to fill in a date. You have to act like a customer. I want to rent your space from May 10th to May 30th. I don't want to do that.
I thought we were just gonna try to find out the owners' names. Is that?
There they
is that
are.
her-
There they are.
There's not 43 Airbnbs though. Those are just-
There's 43 properties
That are not owner occupied.
that are not owner occupied. So with Leslie's help, she and I are gonna try and find phone numbers, emails. And the thrust of this is that we have a mechanism, if something happens, we have contact information. Which right now, we don't have any. Now, once upon a time, years ago, the fire department agreed that they would do voluntary inspections on an annual basis to help people keep their fire extinguishers, their CO2, and their smoke alarms current and up to date. But when I brought that topic up, it was not supported because it was decided that was too intrusive. But when you consider the damage that an owner has to go through when they have smoke damaged property, boy, it's in everybody's best interest to prevent that. And we're kind of on the hook in the village because we're tight. We don't have a 2-acre estate with a house in the middle of it. We're right smack dead up against each other. So I would like to be able to reach out to the fire department and see if they would do that again. But that's a council decision. Something for you to think about. And I wouldn't necessarily just relegate it to renters. I would impact the entire community. We have a capable fire service, and we have a potential funding service in the Lions Club. And there may well be grants or other activities that we can use to kind of fund this, especially for the folks who can't afford it.
Is this something that we can offer to the residents as a voluntary if they would like the help with it?
Yeah, I'm sure we could. But again, I don't want to get crazy. I'm no longer a council person.
This doesn't mean you're not crazy.
Well,
Don't think that.
There's that.
So you said there's 43 that are not owner occupied?
Right.
How many total houses are in the building?
Oh, I'm gonna guess 400. I don't know. You can pass that around.
Okay,
Take one.
Are you talking about people that rent places for like years?
take one,
at a
pass it
time?
down.
Yeah.
Okay,
Is that included in that number?
I didn't get into that nitty gritty. I just identified properties that were owned by LLCs and other entities where I'm aware that the owner didn't live in that home.
Just take one.
I had talked to Bud and Leslie about the matter of people getting permits and variances and giving a check to the building inspector. There seemed to be a disconnect on that in the past as far as the village getting those checks. So in order to prevent that from happening again, can we make it that in order, if a person applies for a permit or a variance and gives a check, that they won't get the permit or the variance hearing until the check is turned over to the village? Gary, you can tell when permit, or is there a way for you to know when a check has been written to the village and we're supposed to be getting it? Because some of those checks that we've had in the past have been heavily delayed in getting cashed.
Correct. Well, I'd have to know, well, yes. The reports that used to come out by Jim, they had the permit number, but there was never a date issued on that document. So if you could issue a permit, issue date on a document like that for any permit issued, then we would at least know when the clock starts to tick.
I guess let me interject here.
Yep.
For one thing, I think you all know me well enough at this juncture to know I'm not half-assed. I'm not gonna be cutting corners. I'm not gonna be walking around with uncashed checks.
Right.
When I have them, you'll have them.
Okay.
I'm still kind of working on how I can make that information available to you, because frankly, when I try and send you information, I couldn't open it. I don't know what you're talking about. I couldn't find it. So this money thing is simple because it's me and Gary. And we'll make that work.
Okay. That's
Well,
fine.
yeah, when you write a permit, then you just notify Gary. Can you even use phones since your computer's so goofy?
Yeah, I'm not gonna hang on to checks and walk around with them.
I know that when we had some checks given to the village just recently, and one of them was still from June uncashed. So why people don't realize that was happening, I don't know. But somebody finally did, and that's what caused us to know that there had been a delay there. The checks were piled up and they weren't turned into the village. So in order to make sure that doesn't happen.
Your concern is on the money, but I'm gonna tell you that will not be a concern.
Well, you're not the last zoning inspector in the world, too.
So you want to implement some kind of checks and balances.
So.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
That's a nice lead-in, Mayor, thanks.
Well, I'm not the last mayor of the village either. Come on. There's gonna be other people, and it wouldn't hurt to
All right.
try to make sure something like that doesn't happen again. I wasn't comfortable with that at all, that we missed it.
Okay, you can pass these around.
Okay, take one down, pass it down.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
On the other hand, I think you're doing a nice job, but
Oh, thank you. What's coming around to you is a recommendation from me that the council consider reviewing our ordinances. Here they are. They were put in place in 1982, and they have been amended and improved occasionally with Band-Aids. What's recommended is that a governmental body such as ours has a formal procedure to review their core document, this guy, every 5 years. We have things in here that no longer apply, that exist in black and white, that we do not enforce. This is a diagram. What's coming around next, you can just look at it, is a diagram of an aggregate driveway. There should be two pieces there.
We're passing that around for people to see as well.
Now, what you're seeing is, I'll tell you right up front, I cheat, I use AI to help me. This, not that side, Mayor, the other side.
how many more saying Chippewa on the lake? It's pretty old.
Isn't it? So that is a physical representation of what a driveway is supposed to be. And you have the option of picking a gravel of your choice. What's recommended is limestone with filings, because you can compact it. So you excavate, you compact the soil, because Ohio's full of clay soil, and we are full of clay up here. And then you take 1.5-inch stone and you compact that, and then you take smaller limestone and top it and compact that. Now, I'll give any one of you $5 if you can take me to a driveway anywhere in the village that has anything approaching that. My point is, we have stuff in black and white and it's never enforced. It's just there. So if we're not going to enforce it, if it's not important, if it's not appropriate, we need to get it out of there. We have an entire section of employee-operated vehicles. An entire section. How you gonna do it, what you're gonna do it, what checks, an annual review of your driving record, yada, 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 yada. Great detail. I've wondered many years where our vehicles were. We have a complete section on public records request. We could handle that with a policy statement. Because everything we put in this book has to go through a formal procedure. Now, Mark is gonna throw stones at me because he'll berate us because you guys, every time you pass it as an emergency measure, you're supposed to have 3 readings. And then at the end of the 3rd reading, it becomes codified or a law. That's 1 a month times 3 months times this. We would never, ever, ever get through that book if we adhere to that policy.
And I understand why we do it that way. We're not the city of Cleveland, we don't meet every day. And I understand that, but there are some things that you guys throw out here that's nowhere near you can even consider an emergency. Give us 3 months so that the rest of us out here can go talk about it and decide if we like it or not.
Well, you know,
some things are fine, but there's other things, it's like, come on, folks. If you're not here, you don't know what happens. I'm here, and then I go talk to my neighbor, now they know what happened, or they talk to their neighbor, now they know what happened, but by then it's too late.
Well, you can always amend it, would be my response. But I find myself in an odd spot now. I'm your employee. I work for the village council. I'm no longer a council person. I have a lot of personal experience in this arena of putting together strategic plans and goals and objectives and strategies. But it's a yeoman's work. It's nothing to be taken lightly. But you need to do it.
What is the procedure to get rid of a very outdated ordinance that is no longer relevant? And are you actually allowed to remove it from the book, or are you just only allowed to like strike it out, but it stays in the book because it was there once, because of people who are grandfathered in? How does that work?
I'm sorry, outdated ordinance.
Yes, what is the proper procedure to remove an outdated ordinance, something that is completely irrelevant?
Pass an ordinance to repeal.
Okay, but does it get removed from the book, or then is it in the back of the book and like with a strikeout? So someday when something happens and it was different when they did it, now they're grandfathered in, those kind of things. Because if it's just completely gone, does anybody understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Am I making sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, let me interject, if I may. Understand that I have no idea how the hell you did it. But back in 1982, Alan compiled this. Talk to me about the technology available in 1982.
Not much.
Well, I don't think we use carbon paper anymore.
But,
No, well, we were under a court directive to create zoning for the village, because what we had before that was
right,
illegal.
yeah, but what I'm trying to,
And basically, that was before I started all that.
but what I'm trying to make everybody appreciate is, since this was put together, tell me the last time it was officially reviewed by anybody. Front to back.
Piecemeal. I mean, it's just piecemeal.
Yeah, you would do it when you needed a Band-Aid, and we'd create a Band-Aid and stick a Band-Aid on it.
No, we even hired somebody one year to do just that, but they never did it. And I
remember.
And
If-
When Alan put that together, he probably didn't even review it, he was just gathering it all.
Now,
Excuse me.
now, there is a mechanism whereby, depends on how you lay it out, that simplifies and makes the updating more user-friendly. This is not that version. But if you go forward and use this as your base document, you can create such a document where you can add and remove pages without doing the whole damn book.
so are you suggesting a committee, a group that's willing to work on this and meet? It's not gonna be over.
That would be my recommendation. And I would recommend that you pick the section of this that you find most important. But to have that thought in your head, you should all read this and have a working familiarity with it.
Is everything that's in that book that's on the table right now all the exact same information that we can find on the website? Or
It
is
is.
the website a lesser, a more condensed version of that?
I'm gonna say the website's a lesser good.
The website has 53 pages. That
Right.
appears to be more than 53 pages.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, understand, me being me, I've got extra stuff in here, but
I would not consider the website up to date, I'd consider Alan.
I get the up-to-date document from Alan.
But I'm talking about historically.
Like the older stuff, like before you started adding to it for us.
But there are actually zoning code, like that.
Yeah, it's about 50 pages long.
Well, it's not.
Yeah, we also have a
residential
residential
code, that's all there.
Yeah, traffic code,
But see-
miscellaneous code.
we put it,
Code. It is,
That would not need to be on the website.
we put everything,
it should be really.
Yeah.
but understand, we put everything in here. There's things that, in my opinion, don't need to be there. You could handle it with a policy and or procedure. And the reason I would lean that way, it's far more user-friendly. It's more expedient, not necessarily less thoughtful. But for a public records request, we don't need to have that in here. You
Some
can,
of it is required, though, because that's a touchy area.
but here's my thought. You could address that with a village policy statement and adhere to the Ohio Revised Code, which is the ultimate law of how you respond to a public records request. And there are other instances where that could be in place. What is important, though, is you have to be very mindful that you don't change the intent of the underlying rationale for having this. That's where Alan is really important, because he knows this. He created this.
So what do the rest of you think? Do you want to start a committee? You want to think about this? And talk about
I think it's something that needs to be done to a good.
how would you want a committee? Council people and some citizens, or just council people? Or No council people, all citizens that want.
Well, I think, council should be
Involved.
involved.
We are the zoning board.
Yeah, or zoning
Yeah.
board, but if there are specific, residents that wanna weigh in, yeah, that, more than welcome,
I,
right? I mean, that's my opinion.
I guess what I would encourage you to consider is doing council only first few meetings to get a collective mindset of what you want to accomplish and how. And then involves village residents. I know Mark is interested. I know of other people who expressed an interest in addressing this and would apply their skill set to helping the process along. But I think if you consider doing the first few meetings just among yourselves, then you kind of have a collective mindset.
Do you know Leslie's thoughts on this since she's not here to weigh
Yes,
in?
she's in favor of doing this.
Doing it right, but does she have an idea?
What'd you say?
I'm sorry, Leslie's thoughts on this since she's not here to weigh
Right.
in. I was asking if he knew how she felt.
Yeah, she's in agreement.
She's on
that it
board.
Needs to be
Yeah,
done.
she is.
I don't know if she has a real crystal clear fixed mindset on how she wants to approach it. But see, that's something you guys, you are the board, you are the council, you need to hash it out. Say, first, I'd like to do this, and then this next, and this next, and then this.
How many ordinances are in that book? Do we know?
Oh, geez, I don't know. See,
Well, the zoning code is one ordinance. It's
Okay.
passed as a booklet, and the residential property code, maintenance code is one ordinance. And I think this is a great idea, and I've seen it happen maybe once over the decades. West Salem had a committee. They went through their zoning book, which was, probably back in the 1800s, something that was written. And they just revised the whole thing. It took forever. But it's done now.
Yeah.
And it's a great idea, but it takes time, it takes volunteers, it takes
thought,
a lot of effort.
takes a lot of effort.
We prioritize certain sections of it to be done.
Right. What would you prioritize to be first? And would you say, let's take 10 things a month and review those? Because it's going to be things that we're going to discuss here, and it's going to take time in the meeting also to come to an agreement if you're going to change anything or if you're going to remove anything.
I say the zoning code would be a start.
Okay.
Yeah, I would too.
And also, there's a bunch of loose ordinances in what I call the code of miscellaneous ordinances. I mean, you can look at those. Some of those are, special situations, and most of them are worthwhile. But I'd start with the zoning and then go through the codes.
Or do you and Leslie have things that you've seen as you've been working together that you feel need addressed first? Sorry.
How about just-
I already know Matt has gone over this book and said a lot of it needs addressed. So I do realize,
Yeah, that's kind of a loaded question, but it's an appropriate question.
right, how do we know where to start? What's most
Zoning
important?
would be a good start point.
And page one. Just read the thing.
And
And it's pretty tedious. I mean,
It is,
this
it is.
hard
I
work.
have.
now,
One of my questions is, how do you just fix a punctuation? Do I pick up the phone and go, oh, look at page whatever,
and that,
there should be a period there.
and that's a legitimate issue, so if you like,
Would you like to start typing them up, Mark, and fix them? Send them to somebody and say, here.
Well, if it's a typo or an obvious punctuation mistake, you can just change it.
Well,
You don't need an ordinance for that.
There's spelling errors throughout.
Well, when we revamp it,
well, there are legal, to answer that more directly, there are legal theories in place that cover your ordinances. Because some attorney had the wisdom to say, you know what, we're probably gonna screw this up somewhere. So this will be an overreaching philosophical statement that will cover that. It doesn't render the whole thing void and irrelevant. But now that we have the advent of AI and that's a real godsend, but it's not foolproof. It makes mistakes. You have to be familiar with your topic and it will improve, but you need to have a working familiarity with the language to check it. Otherwise, you're relying on something to do your work. And you don't want to do that.
As lawyers, we find mistakes in, what is it, ChatGPT?
It's only accurate 40% of the time. I mean, there was just a big article about that, it was only
Yeah,
accurate
absolutely.
40% of the time.
I don't know, that's a pretty dismal accuracy statement. I don't know that I would concur with it based on my own personal experiences, but I'm no expert. Now that,
Are you handing this to me?
yeah, you
Okay.
can look at that. If anybody wants that, about went crazy. I sat down and went through the index and lifted it to help me look through this book. Because I'll tell you honestly, I get so pissed off. I would see the definition and I'd look back. What was that? And I'd go back and I'd go back and I'd go back and back. This helps a little bit.
Glossary?
Index.
No, the index, so that you can find things.
He's
That's
gonna
all I
need this back. He
refer
put a lot of
to
work in that.
sections and page numbers and so forth.
Yeah, that was never done.
And that is helpful to a degree, but it's still largely a pain in the neck. You can't do a word search, as an example, electronically online. It's online electronically, but it's just like this. You can't look up horses and think it'll take you to page 45 where we have a section about horses.
Download and use Adobe, you can do that, because that's what I've done.
Say that again?
Download it, it's PDF, so download it and use Adobe.
And then you can look up keywords.
I just didn't hear what you said. I need to hear you.
PDF online on the
It
village
goes to
website,
that.
isn't it?
Yeah, Adobe doesn't work, but if it's an online document, you have to download it and use it that way.
Right.
You could do it in the original Word document and then make it a PDF.
So
We don't have access.
there are ways to overcome those shortfall issues. But if you're unaware of them,
Right. My suggestion to council is read the thing, and as you're reading it, if you're not understanding what the section's about, say so. If you're reading it and go, what in the hell is this all about? Say so. And then we have some kind of committee or something that gets together and we chat about this stuff. And okay, this one here no longer applies. So we should get rid of it, and we'll make that recommendation to council. And come up with a document that is our zoning code to present to council to vote into law.
I mean, there are sections of the code that you've got that much information. And you cherry pick what applies.
Yeah, some of it is absolutely ridiculous.
You know, and it's mind numbing. So that's why I like to talk to people when I tell them they have to correct one thing or another. Because if they go to the online version and try to look it up, they're gonna go,
There's a
what?
couple in there, you can tell where it was somebody on council getting after somebody about something.
So I think it's a worthwhile project and I'm glad to help. I just find myself in an awkward spot because I'm no longer a council person.
With that being said, we'll, postpone some of this, or maybe you guys can research, if you have time, any of this. If you don't have copies of the zoning code, get one. Where would we get one from? You, Gary?
Right up the website. It's on the website.
It's on the
Oh, it's on the
website, but we
website.
were all given a binder
Yeah,
several
we-
months ago. Do you guys remember that?
No.
Well, no, you wouldn't remember that.
Binder at one time, but I can't.
We were, after Leslie was voted in and on council, she didn't have anything. She made a statement during a meeting, and then at the next meeting, we all got a binder. We all got a blue binder.
Gary, did you get
Yeah,
that?
but that binder is a lot smaller than that binder.
Yeah.
That was some time ago.
Well, Leslie's been around for a
Or we could get an electronic copy. It was either a binder or an electronic
Or
copy.
the truck
Is that
master.
what it is?
Yeah.
So everybody think about it, have Leslie here next month, be prepared to talk about it a little bit, because obviously it's gonna take a while.
Or maybe a
All out.
special meeting possibly.
Figure out which of you been, hopefully,
Now,
a lot of you want to be involved in this.
I sent this around to you. One has to do with watercraft, and the mayor's gonna kill me. One has to do with motor vehicles. And we have some lovely issues in the village.
So am I taking one and passing it?
Uh-huh,
How do you have these
there's two
organized?
copies, one for watercraft, one for
Okay, so
car.
take these two and then pass it.
Uh-huh. Again, this is something I'd like you to look at and think about, and here's why. If you want to see the photos that I've taken thus far, you can come over here and have a look at them. Sheriff's Department will not touch a privately owned vehicle on private property. We decided that the cure to that was make sure the engine runs and have current registration. Unless it's a boat trailer. Then, don't worry about it. I've got a picture here of a watercraft, an open bow, runabout, that's full of water clear up to the gunnels. That's the top of it. But it is covered by a tarp. Sits on a trailer, there's a jack under the trailer holding the boat up, holding the trailer up. There's no plate on it. And that sucker hasn't moved for years. We have another pickup truck in the back full of metal scrap, heaping. We've got a large dump truck stuck in the mud, rotted frame-wise, and it's got trash in the bed of the dump. I could scrape the dirt off the windshield with a putty knife. So what you're gonna see is, at a minimum, we could screen it. There's gotta be some way that I don't have to look at this.
There's got to be some way that you can figure those things out without agitating the local boat owner here that are not
This-
violating any rules. That's,
And then that'll
that's what I
never,
said to you.
and that'll never be a conversation. Why? Because they treat their possessions with care.
So there's got to be a way for the one that doesn't do that to be penalized or to make it better. Not everybody with the boat has to do this and that.
Yeah, but you can't, I would disagree with you, man, because you can't, I use my own trade. You can't enforce a speed limit if you don't have one.
There's got to be other rules. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, we're not going to talk about this all night. We have a meeting
One
to get
question.
to.
These are proposed ordinances for watercraft.
That's just for everybody to read it and think about it.
We
Ideas.
didn't adopt these ever.
No, they're
Oh, no.
ideas.
Oh, ideas only.
Got it. Thank you.
Okay.
They're a good base for some of this, and some of this works and some of it doesn't, in my.
And that's fine.
If a group of council people do it, we are limited on how many people can get together, right? Before it becomes a public meeting.
Yeah, it's 4.
We can have 4, or,
If it's 4, it's a majority of council, we have
Okay.
to advertise. and make it a
so the
public-
most we could put on a committee, a particular committee would be 3.
And you can have a work session with 3, you can't really approve it, you
Right.
can recommend it.
You want my 2 cents?
Sure.
But can they have a committee meeting and
Sure.
if other people are here besides council? All they do is put paper, right?
Yeah.
Because, and here's why, kids. Because I am sorely limited as to what corrective measures I can take. So both of these talk about providing screening. One, they talk about where you can legally place the vehicle or watercraft. And 2, how you can screen it. So if it's ugly, you don't have to look at it. That's it. I've taken up way too much of your time. I've given you something to think about, which was my intent.
No, I think it's very important, maybe a committee meeting to kind of sort everything out and, figure out what direction we're gonna go over and bring it down to a smaller committee at that point, or.
Yeah.
That'd be for that.
I even have a couple different committees since there's such a bunch of various ordinances. Okay, well, thank you, Bud.
Any permits or anything like that? 'Cause you haven't got that right.
I know, and
I have none, I have issued none. I'm done.
thank you, Bud. Anybody have any more comments on this?
Mine Parkway Pet, if you want.
Fire and enforcement court date.
What about those other ones that,
I talked to them,
what is it, 13 Parkway and,
they're working on making improvements. I have not been able to talk to Rustic Rook, so I'm gonna have to send a registered letter. I can only imagine what the response will be, but I've taken plenty of photographs. You're welcome to look at them if you want.
okay, 13 Circle Crest, 273 Rusty Brook, and 13, Parkway. You know anything about those? This says that you will do something on them.
Work is underway, with the exception of Rustic Rook, which I have not communicated with.
Well, I was asking Alan actually, because
I haven't
it
filed
said
it.
here about filing charges on all 3 of those
Yeah,
properties.
that was Jim's recommendation.
So now are we saying that
That
you
was
and
Jim's
Bud are looking into this to see if?
Yeah, two of them have been contacted and corrections are underway, though. Rustic Rook, has not.
Yeah, that's a follow-up for what we had in last month's minutes.
I understand.
Right, and Jim recommended filing charges, I asked Bud to look into them
Okay,
and give us his opinion.
see, that's not in here anymore. That's what I'm asking this question. It's not in there that you, that it was Jim's recommendation and you and Bud are looking into.
It was in the minutes, the addresses.
Right. But I didn't know that you were just doing follow-up on what Jim recommended.
Well, since Bud's the one that would have to go to court, I want him to be the one.
Yeah, I can't,
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. I
Yeah.
just,
So that's where it stands.
I can't operate on Jim's, be hearsay, ma'am. I have to have
Right.
direct personal knowledge.
That's
who are
exactly
you calling
right.
ma'am all night?
Ma'am, that's what I thought too.
I don't want to say, hey, you.
See, we have people that read these minutes. I'm not gonna mention any names. The person is not here. But they like to read them and see that, and then they'll wanna know, well, what happened? Well, up until you guys just said that, there's no clue what happened. Because this doesn't say that, this is from last month where it just says that you're gonna see about filing charges on these properties. So then tonight, we're not mentioning them, but now you're saying, well, these were one person's recommendation and you want Bud to follow up. That makes a lot of sense, but we gotta have it in there so that person reading this has continuity.
Yes, ma'am.
You know, like chapter 2.
No, you're right.
I know, right? That's why you can't. Okay, are we done with zoning?
Yes, ma'am.
No, that's it. Okay, we will now go to community relations. Let's see how Debbie does.
I'm easy. I was the queen of seminars for the last 2 weeks.
Okay,
I went to the Medina County demographics, which was very interesting. It just said what the population is going to be and what to do in your community to make you look good to outside places. Medina's doing very well. And then on March 3rd, I went to the Medina Health, and that was like a nothing meeting. It took me longer to get there and to get home then. It was like half an hour.
it seems like they have that meeting every year and they just seem to want to have so many people attend
Right.
to make it something.
So the only thing that I got from that was what the 5 top illnesses in Medina are. And then I went.
What are they?
Really?
We see
Yeah. And then Al and I went to the newly elected council seminar on Saturday.
I'm very much out now.
No, I thought it was pretty interesting. The first half was very interesting. The second half was way over what we would need any information about. So those were my 3 seminars, and it was good.
Did they happen to mention anything at the health department about putting the mosquito, what do they call things, tablets or something in there?
So those, yeah. No, they didn't say anything. And I didn't read your message until afterwards, so I didn't ask.
Well, I know Ken has gone to that, Thomas has gone to that, and they usually do mention that.
They don't normally, they haven't mentioned it in a few years. I always inquire after the fact because it's something they don't talk about. But they do tell me it's in the budget that because they get a grant for it, so they do it every year. I don't know if that's the case this year because I didn't inquire this
I
year.
can double check.
Are we allowed to do that ourselves as a village? Or do you have to?
I think so, because I might be wrong, but my understanding of it is that the insecticide is just a compressed sawdust pellet. And the larvae eat the sawdust when it has it, as it spreads out, and it kills them. So I
So,
don't
and we
think
can find out
chemicals
if
are involved.
they're doing it.
Okay.
They put in the storm sewers?
Mhm.
Standing water.
Standing water and the storm
Puddles,
sewers.
you go in ponds.
Well, they've been doing it for the last couple of years.
Yeah, they've been doing it. for-
They've been doing it since at least 2020.
For free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we always try to make them, like when we have our mosquito spray, we spray the street right there. For obvious reasons.
One year in particular, the mosquitoes were really bad, and I just made a phone call, and they actually dumped extra. You know, I was so upon request, it's needed, they're open for that, they say we're the 1 year, so.
And they'll do that swampy area along Chippewa Way,
Yeah.
not Chippewa Road, I meant,
Mhm.
up from Garmin.
Yeah, that's important, yeah.
Okay, I just have 2 more things. Timothy and I are working together to do the Easter egg hunt, which is March 28th.
Good.
And then I am going to meet up with John Sandor, he's out of town. I'm going to meet up next week with him, and then we'll discuss all that boat money information, and then give you guys a recommendation.
Okay.
That's all I have.
I have one thing to add for the Easter party. Our bunny fell through. We need a bunny.
Uh-oh.
Oh, boy.
Why don't you call that guy that had that $1 million Santa suit and see what he's got going for Easter?
I don't know if I can get him to be a bunny.
He's not a bunny.
He's really into Christmas. I don't know if I can get him to be a bunny. But we have the suit for the bunny. but we need a
Two
bunny.
heads.
Yes, there are 2 heads.
Yeah.
Yes.
Say we have 2 heads on.
Two heads. Well,
Yeah.
No wonder the grandkids are scared.
So are you on a bunny search?
I am on a bunny search. Do you have the phone number for Barb McGrath's sister, Sue? You had given me you had given me her phone number years ago and I can't find it. She's also been our bunny a few times.
Oh, right.
You know who
I
I'm
think
talking
so.
about?
I think so, yes. I do.
Yeah, because Rochelle is going to be out of town that week, so she is
Okay.
unavailable.
Unless I
She's,
spoke with her, she was like, yeah, I'll do it, and then we found somebody. I don't think she really wants to do it, because it's not an easy job.
It's not an easy job. It's not a super
yeah.
long time in the suit, but the suit does get warm.
But I'll put some feelers out as well, if everyone can, you know.
Yes. Please help us find a bunny.
Didn't we have Eric be the bunny one year?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Well, there's always Eric.
I'm sure.
That's all I needed to add for that.
So, yeah, I have, I was gonna bring this up in my section, but, CW Landscaping, that's the contract that we're able to use now, right? Is not a problem with that? Okay. As for the monies, the sticker boat monies, he gave us a really great quote for that retaining wall, and that will fit the bill, you know, for using those monies for, because we wanted to make it, lake related. But I can put out a phone call to him, so if you can update that quote.
Yeah, because that
He
quote
was
was
talking
pretty
20
accurate.
grand, the retaining wall, you know, there are we talked about it, maybe you're not here that month, but from the beach up to,
Point Park.
that property that's got no man's land, but is somebody's land,
All the way down there.
all the way down, and he
22,000
quoted
is what
20
he said.
grand, that sounds like incredibly cheap. but
Sounds like a
sign
very
it up.
good price for a very long piece of real estate.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I just thought.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you're
That's,
sorry, we couldn't use that contract for understanding that, otherwise I think we would have built that thing by now.
I would like to hear though, next month when you are, after you've talked to John, I'd like to hear what the community themselves is most interested in as well. Instead of us just making a decision and moving forward, I want to know what everybody else had to say.
Well, that's it.
What they're
We have
interested
that
in.
In the works, and that's happening.
Yeah, I think that's what they're.
This is my opinion, that it would be a good.
Winter time would be the best time to do that, when the boats are out. People are not gonna want construction along there when their docks are out.
It's true.
I mean, that's gonna have to be something that would be,
If we go that route, it would be postponed until the fall.
yeah, when the boats are out, nobody's gonna want the docks and stuff like that. Plus the water's low in the winter, so.
You don't have to be sad. Of course.
Okay, is there anything else for community relations? No. There's something that came in from the solid waste, I'm gonna have to check that again and see something. I know that in the past, I think, Kenny messed around with those coupons.
It's the vouchers, yeah, it's, okay, so I got that email, you all didn't we, or did I just get it?
No.
I think we all got it.
Send it all.
So, it's the voucher for the solid waste district for April 20th to June 19th. You get a reduced rate of $50 per ton. You can go to recyclemedinacounty.com for more information, or you can contact Heather at the solid waste facility. I got the number 769-0281. Individual households can request an individual voucher, and you can get one per house.
Can you
If you can't make it, like, to go during those times,
can you put it on the webpage?
I can get that information from
I
Lisa.
need the information,
Okay.
And,
Yeah, that program, they had that program quite a few years back.
They do it every year.
And people get their own or get the council?
Yeah, you can get, individual households can contact them and get a voucher.
Okay.
You get one per household.
Oh, that's it.
Years ago, they had given council a packet of vouchers for us to pass out. The couple years that I did it, and I didn't have anybody who, at that point in time, wanted them.
I'll volunteer Leslie, put it on Facebook.
Okay. I'll give you information, Lisa.
That way you have both places.
Double check your email.
Does that say it's just for our village?
No, it's for the county.
Okay, so it would be okay on Facebook.
Yeah.
Okay, now we will go to buildings and utilities, Barb.
Well, that was one of the things that I was gonna bring up. And then the other one, we all got an email from Gary about the LED light conversion project. And I immediately sent out an email to Amy Hopkins from First Energy, and we are not included in that whole it's a new tariff. We're not included in that because we're already under the old tariff. So our streetlights will continue to get replaced as they malfunction. But I am going to contact her to find out about how many, like, what was it, the K number, what was it, the Cal?
Yeah, I'm not reading
The K, 3000 K, 4000 K is the brightness and the hue of the light, whether it's a brighter white or more of an orange color. So I'm gonna talk to her about that, because currently, to my knowledge, anything that's not functioning is supposed to be replaced with a 20-watt LED light at no expense to the village, unless we ask otherwise. So like maybe a big intersection like Broadway Boulevard and Lake Road, that would maybe be a 30 or 50 watt. But anything in the residential area is supposed to be a 20 watt, to my knowledge. So, but I will check with her to find out about I can't remember what that K number is now. It's not.
Calvin,
Thank you. I guess it Calvin, maybe that was a. So yeah, so I'm gonna check with her to find out about that, because some residents like the LEDs, some don't, some like the high pressure sodium, some don't. But the brightness of those LEDs compared to the high pressure sodium is significant. And if you have one of those, some people have actually requested, even if the light's not malfunctioning in front of their house, hey, what do I need to do to get one of those LEDs in front of my house? And then there's others who have them that have somehow finagled with First Energy to put like shields around the lights to redirect the light away from the front yard because it's very bright. So it's one of those things that it's absolutely impossible to please everyone. So no matter what we do, somebody's gonna be unhappy about it. So, but I will check with her. So as far as that email that Gary sent out, we are not impacted by that. But I will check with her to see about the different colors of the lights, the brightness of the lights.
I thought I had seen in that email that they were naming prices for each one of
That
those.
we're not impacted by that.
But is that pricing better or worse than what we have?
Well, so to my knowledge, First Energy knows how many streetlights are in this village, and we are charged, let's just say hypothetically, 100 streetlights. They charge us for X number of hours of illumination for part of the year, and then a greater number of hours in the winter months when they're lit longer. And it doesn't matter whether the light's working or not, we're gonna get charged for 100 streetlights. And it doesn't matter if it's an LED or high pressure sodium, we get charged the same amount for 100 streetlights. Now, there was maybe a year ago, they had made a proposal to the PUCO about increasing the rates. But again, I don't think that would impact us. They were gonna charge you more for an LED light than they were for high pressure sodium.
I remember you saying that,
Yeah.
which I thought was
They were gonna use
ridiculous.
electricity. They were gonna charge more, so they're gonna get you coming and going. But again, I don't think that we're impacted by that because we are charged a flat rate for 100 streetlights.
So
maybe it's.
the plan we're on is still a good and most valuable plan as far as
Well,
cost-wise.
valuable. I mean, pays the electric bill every month. You know, part of that is just the electricity in the building. We get a lot of separate bills. We get a bill for the.
I've seen them all. There are a lot of bills
There's a
for the
lot of
electric.
separate
Yeah.
accounts for the electricity, Point Park, all of it is all separate.
What about those streetlights that Alan Robbins had put on OPEC? Have we seen a
And
difference in
Alan
price
Robbins-
of the lights that are OPEC lights compared to Ohio Edison? I can't seem to find that on the bill.
Okay, I'll take a look at that and report back.
I know,
Oh, you mean it's being billed through their rates?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know about that.
we didn't put all money in that, just some, if I recall.
I'm not aware of that.
When, that long ago we did it.
I don't remember having no back. I mean, I know they contacted us about the increase in the change in the rates.
Oh, Alan had us do something, we did something.
Okay, all right.
Because I remember being kind of concerned that might mess us up with Ohio Edison.
I remember the conversation about that, but I don't remember.
But I haven't seen on the bill anywhere where they divide them up between Ohio Edison.
Yeah, I don't know
and OPEC, so you
who's
show a
the-
difference,
The
which one's best.
provider, I don't know who's, if it's in the aggregation or if it's just being, I don't know that. I
I'll
don't
check
see
the
that.
bills out and report back.
I don't see that.
Yeah.
But but then First Energy, I think, did I bring that up last month, or that there was 2 floodlights right up on the pole next to the shuffleboard court, did I bring that up last month? That one floodlight was out completely and the other one was, cycling on and off. And they asked me if they wanted to take the lights off that pole at no charge to the village and put them on other poles on Longwood Bay. And I told them not to do it, to put the new floodlights back up on the pole by the shuffleboard court in the middle of the park, and they moved them anyways. So they put one on the pole in front of Vinegar's house, and the other one, what's the other? Wolfhall's house. They put one on that pole. So there's no longer any lights on that pole by the shuffleboard court in the middle of that park. So I told them not to, but they did it anyways. So,
Oh, will they move them back?
No, no.
I'm sure you tried.
no,
That's,
so,
You need to get some new ones.
that's it.
You need to get new ones.
They are new lights, they put, working lights up, working floodlights, but they're on poles that already have streetlights on them. So the streetlight comes off the pole towards the street, and the floodlights are coming off the pole towards the park. So it's still illuminating the park. So, and I told them that the residents, I know I talked to Biddingers, but I couldn't get a hold of them, they're not there. And they said, no, we don't want it, but they did anyways. So, yeah, Al called me one day and he said, hey, you know they're moving? I said, no, didn't know. So, okay, let's see. Gary, I got the stuff for the backflow, so I'll schedule that, and I'll be sure to send you the invoice this year. Okay. We kind of assumed that maybe a tree branch might have fallen on the box by the shuffleboard court and put a hole in it.
yes, that's a.
So I'm gonna just report on it. I got some Gorilla tape, I'm gonna try to tape it over that. It's supposed to stick to everything,
Yeah.
so
The grid has a hole in it?
the top of the storage bin.
Oh.
Looks like
Plastic.
there's a big tree branch so we're kind of assuming that might have come down. Our exit sign out front here was damaged during the snow plowing one day, and it's all been taken care of, and Bright Ideas is making a new sign, so as soon as that's completed, I'll get it put in the ground, as long as I can get a post hole digger out there. So that's being fixed, and it's being replaced by, at no expense to the village. And Gary did set up an online account for the Arlo cameras up by the tennis courts, and I have changed, because originally when I put those cameras in, I just used my own personal Gmail and password to set up the system. So I have created a new password and login that I can pass on and share with the rest of you. And I can set it up, I believe, that if I have your email address, you can get access to it. So, I'm still playing with that, but I have sat in my house and reviewed the cameras up there. A lot of people walk their dog across those courts. And I was guilty of it, and then I like saw it on the sign one day while Charlie was playing with the tennis ball. Let's go, Charlie, get off. So, so, yeah, you can sit at home now and watch it online with the new account.
You're gonna send us the link to that? Or do we send something to you, or how do we get it? You don't
I'm
know?
not sure if I know how to do that part yet. But I think I can send, if I have your email address, I think I can add your address to the account. I don't know how many you can have on there though. So, I think that's it.
Okay. Parks, Ken?
New business, old business, do we have grant money, that PEP money that has been used? Yes?
PEP money from 2025 was spent in January. I have to apply for a new PEP grant if you want it, and I'm going to request council tonight to make sure you make a decision no later than October, where to use that PEP
So
money.
would we be able to purchase smoke detectors or carbon monoxide detectors as a village and then distribute them to the residents who need them? Would that be something we want to do?
That I'd have to ask.
That's something usually the firemen.
And that's something that we don't know if we want to be held responsible if that smoke detector or fire alarm doesn't work. And we've
Would we
supplied
be
it.
responsible for that?
I have a feeling we would be responsible. It's something to look into.
Are you sure the fire department doesn't give those out? They used to.
They used to, but they stopped because then if it malfunctioned, then they were responsible and they no longer wanted to be responsible if it malfunctioned. Because they supplied it, they would be responsible.
I'm not sure that would hold up as liability. Because you're giving a product that's, untouched.
It's not like we,
Warranty.
I mean, we're not.
It has its own warranty. I don't think there'd be liability for that. But it's a risk, I guess,
I just thought, it was just a thought when he was talking about, that he mentioned it about the inspections and stuff, so, okay.
Well, just an FYI, I know someone who experienced a minor fire, before Thanksgiving.
Are they back in their house yet? I was just asking Matt that
They
yesterday.
haven't touched a nail in that place.
Oh my. Why?
I mean, in the repair process, they found additional undiscovered damage.
So they're still waiting for the insurance to approve?
So the insurance is still debating who, what, why, how much.
Wow.
That house
It's
isn't
a
that old either.
Daunting.
Insurance companies don't want to part with their money.
Well, and I just, that aside, the way the smoke travels throughout the house and damages the property, it's just unbelievable.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
No, I just like told back the insurance companies.
Sorry, Jen.
I'm done.
He was politely just keeping quiet.
Okay, Ken, you ready to do parks?
Yes, now the pet grant, I was hoping to use that for the camera over by, Reese's Pond, if we can make that happen. I know there was some hurdles possible, but that would cover it. You did trail cam, push goes to shove, I really don't think. Or maybe Spectrum might,
I thought we talked last month about a Wi-Fi booster from the building.
right, I don't think we got, I did not do any work on that. I don't know if Barbara, do you want to talk to that about? I mean, I can't too.
I'll call.
You don't have spectrum in the building, right?
Is that,
You don't have spectrum in the building anymore.
no, it's on me.
Oh, I'm,
Yeah.
I'm the,
I mean, all I have to do is go stand over there and see if I can.
Get a signal.
Can they get a booster or something? I don't know. I mean, depending on the cost and whatnot.
I recently found out that many providers now do it wireless. They do no longer require a hard wire to get the signal to your home. They broadcast it through the air at a very competitive rate.
That'd be nice, yeah, technology, that'd be.
Are they doing that via satellite?
Apparently, I don't know how else to do it.
All I have to do is go stand over by the phone and see if I can get the building wire.
See if you can get on the internet, Google something.
Yeah, I mean, so,
Okay.
I'm gonna talk about that. In fact, I could jump right to that, right now, no? Yes, okay, so the no dumping signs, I set out, it was a council here, but, basically what we're looking at, I wanted to place 3 of them over by Reese's Pond. No dumping signs, right now, currently, the fine for our, ordinance code, 89824 from the village. The fine is $250, and that's been in place for a while. And I wanted to see about increasing that to 500. I think that would, keep people from, making a mistake before they dump fire pit remains and planters and everything, because, the village is spending a lot, taxpayers are spending a lot to get that in order and make it look nice again, instead of looking, Green Lagoon has just looked that way since at least these last 10 years that I've been on council. So that, I don't know if that's something that, we would need to vote on, Need an ordinance.
an ordinance?
Yeah, because the ordinance that says 250 would have to be amended.
Okay.
It's simple to do, but it needs an ordinance.
All right, and, should I propose that? I mean, any idea, is anyone in favor of that?
Come on,
Any,
make a motion.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Make a motion.
What's the ORC? Do we know what the fine is for this?
It did see the fit.
That was in
Work
a,
on
I
it.
couldn't find an applicable section of the ORC. Its dumping rules in the ORC relate to like large dumps of hazardous materials. But this is a local matter, like littering.
Wouldn't be able to search it on my phone, but there's a whole section on that.
Yeah, you can
Just
make
trash, throwing something out the window. I just don't know what the fine is.
Well, if you find it, you can
I
let me
think
know.
it'd be under littering more than dumping.
Yeah, let me know. And if you
Well,
find
I'll still like to increase that, just,
I think-
and then we'll.
He's talking about our local.
Yeah,
The
we'll-
ORC's $500 anyways. I'm just thinking, why would we have a law if we got one who could strike it?
Right. Well, what would be nice about that is we wouldn't have to, the sheriff's department would not have to, charge them a ticket and then send it to us. We wouldn't be involved if it's not. But now that, if we're using our ordinance on there, then it's kind of, we would have to, right? We would be up to us to collect the fine money.
No, you take it. You could
It would be the
have,
same way.
yeah, handle it the same way.
Okay.
And the difference is that if it's under your ordinance, you get the fine money.
Well, that's a good thing.
Yeah, that's why we have a lot of these local ordinances.
Okay.
But, I couldn't find that, what you're talking about, Mark, but if you do, please let me
I'll
know.
look when I get home. I can't do it here.
Right, I get that.
Well, I'd like to make a motion to increase the fine for ordinance 898-24 from $250 to $500.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
How many said I couldn't?
Yeah.
You want me to write an ordinance for next month?
How soon are you gonna put the signs up?
Well, I'm probably not gonna install that, but I do want to order them.
Well, you can probably order them.
Yeah, as long as it's done now, so.
Because of the ordinance next month.
Yeah, I'll have it typed up for next month.
Okay, great.
As an emergency.
The assumption is they'll pass it, so,
Well, apparently.
so you can get the signs made and then ready.
Okay. Okay, so my thought, I sent them around, the signs I wanted to put up, they basically were talking about the property being under surveillance, camera surveillance, that's why we're going to be looking, at the very least, we're going to have a trail cam up there. But I envision having them 2 feet off the ground, 3 of them that run along the road where people are dumping waste. But keep it about 2 feet off so it's not like an eyesore. And there's 2 choices. We could have red or we could have green. Green would look nicer, but typically no dumping signs are in red. I kind of want to lean on council here to get your opinion on what direction we should go with for color. I just don't, I think it would look bad if you have these great big signs that are 8 feet tall with a big red.
What would you think?
This would be down, and I thought on you, but this would be about this high, it would be green, and I did not send you the, I didn't include you on that, unfortunately.
That's okay. I personally speaking, I don't have a voice. I prefer the green because it's less obtrusive. What would you think about planting like hedges along that line where the pond meets the road? Plant them right along that edge, like a guardrail of sorts, if you will.
I think they would look nice and everything, I think we can do that in addition to, but it won't stop people from dumping. I mean, there's planters in there, tires, there's all kinds of.
Well, you could do both. You could intermingle your sign in amongst them.
Oh, yeah, I think that would be a good idea. Yeah, I have a lot of visions, for that area. Maybe even put a picnic table over in the woods maybe, or, turn it into a park. That's not something we're gonna do this year, or maybe we'll start it this year, but we are gonna start cutting that area down. We're gonna maintain it.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, because I don't want you throwing bricks at me, any of you. But I think we've been neglectful with some of the maintenance of some of the village-owned property. I would like to clean that area, maybe remove some trees, get some sunshine in there. It would help abate the poison ivy.
Well, I think that's a good idea, but I wasn't in charge of any of that. I don't know who the council person before
We
I
did
got that.
have somebody come in at one point and cut trees then.
No, I'm saying it was a council person that's no longer on council, that was in charge of all the lawn, the landscaping and the.
Well, I'd like, yeah, point taken, and I'd like to revisit that. The other area that I would like to remediate is the area off of Briarwood. It goes back down over the hill and where their homes are. I mean, it's just a mosquito hangout in the summertime.
Yeah.
So if we were to brush cut that, take a brush hog back through there, I think that would help keep the mosquito population down. And I'd like to thin out that area by the pond and get rid of that gravel pile and the asphalt pile and clean that up.
No, I agree. I want to turn it into a usable park. It's not gonna have to happen right away, but something that at least aesthetically pleasing,
I just don't want you yelling at me. I'm sensitive. Get my feelings hurt.
about the signs.
No, about cleaning up that.
Oh, right. No, yeah. Well, that's the whole idea. Have you driven by there lately? I mean, bubblers are working great. They were frozen there for a while, but that's the way it's supposed to be. Once it thaws, but too soon to tell how clear it's gonna be, but can't be worse, that's for sure. And,
When do the chemicals go in?
When the pond look like in the fall,
Are you gonna put the red signs up there or the green ones? The red ones, the
Oh,
red.
the red, I just.
The red show up better in the water after they throw it in.
I sent the, email around the council. I would prefer green, but it wouldn't be as, I'm thinking if somebody is that close and purposely dumping something in there, they're gonna see whether it's red or it's green.
What are the dimensions on this sign?
What's
Is
that?
it, what are the dimensions on this sign? Is it like,
It's a smaller sign, you know, it's
Okay.
it's that size.
like 11 by 13?
Yep, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the typical, so it's smaller, and then, like I said, I would like to have it maybe that high. Where if you have hedges up, it'd be just above the hedges, you know, if you have something there, so it's not like, boom, right here. And have 3 of them.
I agree, because when people start dumping in front of them, because they might, they're gonna cover up the sign if it's too low.
I just pulled, 2 feet, you know, out of whatever the standard size is for that, but yeah, I'm not opposed to 3 feet. I was just, instead of, you know, your standard, no parking sign, like, for where you have.
I mean, stop signs have to be a certain height.
No, it's not.
No
I
parking
don't think
signs have
so,
to be a
because it's
certain height.
not traffic control.
Yeah,
What's that?
I don't think there's a regulation on it, it's not a traffic control sign.
Out of the two, I like the green over the red,
green?
because
Okay.
yes, the red is
We could discuss-
eye-catching, but is an eyesore.
What's that?
The red is eye-catching, but yes, it's an eyesore.
Right, that's nice.
So if you're trying to make it aesthetic,
Well, they throw the green sign in the water, it'll match the water.
Oh, yeah, that's not good.
The red will show up better, that's all.
Yeah, but, okay, I mean, once we can discuss that, you know, we're gonna have to look at it, where it makes the most sense. So yeah, so we'll go with that. Anyone have any thoughts on green or red? That's a huge thing, but,
They both look nice looking.
okay. All right, we talked about, beach, or I'm sorry, park related. We have a new parks manager, Kelly Hellman. She's a local resident, she's been here for many years. Her daughter actually worked at the beach, at the park, access area, that's what we call it. I'm sorry, lake access area, I meant to say. For the last 2 seasons, this will be her 3rd season. And she's a junior high school teacher for Cloverleaf, so I think she's gonna really fit that. I'm excited to bring her on, she's excited, and I think it's gonna be a really nice fit. So that's a good thing. We're lucky to stumble upon her. We're gonna have the park attendance applications. Probably in the next 2 weeks, they're gonna be posted on all our social outlets. The applications will be due by May 7th. And that's pretty much it.
No, did you print out the ski team agreement for everybody?
I've sent it to everybody, yes.
Okay, ski team, Debbie Horn was here about the ski team.
Oh, right, yeah, yep. Mhm.
She said she didn't have to go first, so she did.
She what?
Said she didn't have to go first.
Oh, okay. One more thing, speaking of the lake a little bit. Okay, we updated the watercraft sticker application to include kayaks, because there was a little bit of confusion there. Because we were charging for kayaks, but some people weren't, they didn't know. And that's only if you use our launch. And it's $8, it'll last, 3 years. So I think it's still a bargain. And there's a cost that goes into upkeeping, you know, the dock and the kayak launch and all of that, so it's a bargain. I mean, you don't need the sticker if you're gonna launch it at Point Park, but if you're gonna use the ramp, then it's, you need to get a sticker for that. And that's what's been going on for a while, actually. But now it's on the applications. And that's it. You wanna talk about?
Sure.
All right.
Yeah. So, I'm here for the ski team, and I sent the agreement to Joanne this this, last week, maybe a week ago, but it's just the same agreement that we've always had, that we will do the spring cleanup. We will have the ropes and the diving platform in before Memorial Day. Any maintenance materials less than $250 will get it, and then we'll ask for reimbursement for the materials. Anything greater than $250 will get approval before we do that. Let's see, summer maintenance, we will share the responsibility with village parks of maintaining the ropes during the summer. And we will hope that we can work with the parks for any repairs or emergency repairs. And we can do those on Thursday or Saturday when we have practice. We will keep the south end of the beach clean. We will pay the beach access fee. We'll get the portage on, and we will close the beach at the end of the year. I did submit the liability insurance, right? You got that. So that is taken care of. And then any comments or any issues, whatever, you can let me know. And then we just wanted to ask that we have the beach, the south side of the beach. The beach does not need to be closed completely on Thursday evening from 4:30 till sunset, or Saturday morning from sunrise to 12. The beach can remain open, but we'll be at the south end, okay? And the ropes will still be in and everything. The only time we take the ropes out are for shows. We'll perform a July 4th show and a Labor Day weekend show. I have to work on the dates for that. And then if our developmental team decides to put on a couple shows, we'll let you know kind of when that would be. And we're gonna have Learn to Ski Saturday, June 6th from 8 to 12. If you know anybody that would like to try that, it's kids versus adults. It can be any age, so anybody that doesn't ski or wants to.
Do they have to be residents?
They do not have to be residents, no. And we will maintain the shed. We just ask that we can park. We'll have the parking stickers issued from the village, and then we'll, you park in the beach parking lot, and then our trailers we like to leave down by the launch ramp, so rather than trailer them through the village. We will install the dock and any boat lifts, but we don't have any boat lifts anymore. So we have an agreement with Medina County Parks for 2 years. So we will pay the fees and license the boats as needed. So, any questions? It's really no change from last year.
When you do the ski shows, you guys put in the dock and the ropes back in after the ski show, right?
Except the Labor Day one, then we would leave it out.
Right, you always do that.
Yeah, so we'll pull them out and then put them back in after the ski shows.
Okay.
So on your practice days, you don't need anything special, as special sections, did you say the end of the?
Just the south end of the beach where the shed is and the bleachers, and then we like to maybe have some ropes pulled out there. So we need that space, so we just prefer that. And Kelly is on the ski team, so she knows.
Okay.
They've used that for years that way.
Okay, good.
That's not.
Because I know in the past, we closed it on those
I know.
days, and that's great that we don't have to do
I
that.
mean, 90-degree day, they can swim.
Yeah.
It's not gonna hurt anything, so.
Okay.
Any other questions?
So do we need to vote on accepting that?
Yes. Motion.
Okay, so we need a motion.
Make a motion to accept the ski agreement.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Debbie, did you hear anything interesting at the meeting this afternoon with the Park District here? For Save the Lake?
Well, I thought it was really interesting. They said that they are treating right now, some of the other people were here too, so they were treating the lake and that it's good and they're going to keep treating it, keep checking it is what I got out of it.
They keep checking, they treated last year and they have a half a treatment left. But they have a contract with Aqueduct for another treatment if it is needed.
So lake's in good shape.
They're gonna use the same material.
No, but it's very similar. It's not made by the same people, but it's very similar. It's a time release, like,
Okay.
and Aqueduct is licensed to apply it.
Oh, sorry, okay. Aren't they on Chardon? Chardon,
I don't know exactly, but, yeah.
They had Aqueduct apply some stuff last year.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, it's the same.
They used to have a batch, right?
And they've got it budgeted from the parks to treat the lake as needed and test it, so. The other thing that
They
we,
test every 2 weeks. And they gave quite an extensive report on all the major, things you watch for.
was there any discussion about weed control?
so that's what I was gonna say. So,
Yes.
Oh,
so there's a company that has a cutter, you guys can help me, and
It's called Redo, like WEEDOO. There's a company in Canton that has it, and it goes along and it cuts, it doesn't pull. So they don't wanna
So they're
raise up the
rolling
water.
Yes, they phrase it that way.
But, and if we're interested, if they have another contract, we can go see how it works. But, they, 6 hours, they work 6 hours a day, and that would be $3,000, and a week would be 17,000.
Yeah.
do they cut and collect?
well, so they cut, that's the cutting fee, but if we want them to collect, we can either do that ourselves, or they will charge an additional fee to collect and haul away.
Because if they don't collect, they don't propagate.
What's that?
Well, I think they take it out of the water.
Yeah.
They put it on the shore,
Oh, okay.
and then you let it dry so it's not so dang heavy.
Then you burn it
And
up.
they can do 220,000 pounds in a day, but that's wet, so you don't know what it really is. Could be this much milfoil, I don't know.
Yeah, you gotta dry it.
That was one of the main things that the people suggested for the dock one,
Well,
was
and
that weed control.
so the other thing was they would not want to do this until it starts to really grow, which would be end of June, beginning of July. And, you know, they don't want to do it like in May when the docks are going in because there's nothing there yet.
Right, yeah.
So that would entail, it would limit where they would be able to go with this.
I looked up the vehicle, it's not very big. So it's almost, it looks like a double wide jet ski. And it's got a big brake on the front. I mean, it's longer than a jet ski.
So that was the other thing was, talked about how close they could get to the dock areas that have it. And, that was discussed and Nick said, well, maybe you can have a flotilla and get everybody on their boats out in the center while this thing comes through. And I'm like, well, I don't think that's gonna happen, but.
You never know, people complain about that for years, they might be willing to do that. Who is gonna pay for it in their mind?
So they
They only offered a small amount because it's not budgeted. So they were looking at, either, Save the Lake or the village with fees. But that would also include Glory Glenn's fees, because if they want their portion done. It wasn't fully discussed, but it's not something they have budgeted to do.
I know this is a dumb question, but I'm not a boater. Is that stuff on both sides of the lake or just our side?
It's on our side, but the side, you were talking
The
about that.
spatter dock is over
Yeah,
there.
it's over on the far side too, away from the docks. Like the lake is getting filled in with all of it.
Are they gonna remove the spatter dock as well?
They said spatter dock and for milfoil. Well, they called it underwater vegetation, but we call it milfoil.
So it would have been, they mostly talked about this, the east side where the docks are now, but
They don't want to take out too much because it can start affecting the lake itself in terms of measurements and everything.
Because
Because the
it's,
spatter duck does a lot of,
it gathers up all the nutrients.
yeah. So they were talking around the docks at Gloria Glens and
Okay.
Chippewa, up the village up, especially where you've got more spatter dock, which is the north end of Point Park and the north end where that, Anna and Alan's house.
And then the inlet, they were talking a lot about the inlet, how it's kind of filled in as well, so.
Well, the inlet, but they don't own keeping it maintained, the Chippewa subdivision of Muskingum owns the maintenance of that. The inlet.
They claim they're on 80 feet width.
They're claiming what?
80 feet width. So they don't own all that swamp you see down there on Chippewa Road.
They also talked about possibility of residents getting together, if they approve the lake lawn, or maybe residents at the north end would want to just hire them because you can pay them daily. So it's completely open for discussion. Nothing will happen this year.
Well, it could happen later. Those people, they said they were booked out through May already.
I would think they wouldn't want to harvest the spatter dock until the end of the season. Because when the spatter dock dies, it then releases a nutrient
Well,
back into the lake.
there was a discussion about that, and Travis said yes, but at that point, there's not that much, cyanobacteria in there, so it's not really feeding it. So he didn't,
Okay.
he felt, they feel that you do minimal stuff to the lake. You do it for recreation purposes, not to totally empty the lake of vegetation. Because they think that could have adverse effects.
Well, I don't disagree, but milfoil and the other aquatic vegetation that's in around the docks is problematic.
Yeah,
But the spatter dock grows where the lake is filling with silt.
right.
Typically grows in like 3 foot of water. I'm sorry. It's not really fair.
Well, so does milfoil. It's in the rest of the lake, but it's lower, so you don't catch it.
Yeah, on the south end down around the Glens, you can't drive down there because that's just full of weeds.
Okay, well, that might come up when they decide what to do with that document, that is money. And don't forget, some of that money that, is in our budget, or in our stash of money, and that is actually people that live down by the park, that buy this must. So I don't know, if you're talking about these weeds, or seaweed, or whatever it is, they have a lot down there, they have problems there, not a very big area, but I don't know.
I'm not sure if they have it as bad as we do at this end.
They do.
They said they could look at it from either satellites or drones or whatever. They can tell the bad areas, and they said, well, let's focus on those worst areas.
Okay, well, interesting, thanks. Ken, do you have anything else?
What? No, I'm not.
Oh, actually, I had somebody complaining, and maybe this is a valid complaint, that we do not spend much money on kids around here at the parks. It's all adult stuff we're putting in, so we might want to keep that in mind.
Well, that's, I proposed to them to put in a,
I know you're doing some work on the circle, but.
Yep.
there's I thought we could put in a gaga ball.
That's it, Gaga Ball.
A gaga ball. Kids love the gaga ball.
And there's
It's like,
that over there too. Tetherball.
but the.
Right
Oh,
there.
right, yeah.
Take the gaga ball, we could maybe throw in some limestone or something like that and put it up in there. Somebody, you can buy kits or you can make them, and I've got pictures of it, but
They're not that expensive either.
they're not expensive, and, I mean, the kids can provide their own ball for us, we don't have to provide the ball, but the kids love it. Of all high school elementary school, and high school, they love it.
Is that something that we'd have to worry about at Point Park, like being flooded out and washing away?
We could even put it up at one little bay. Up there somewhere.
Like, you might want to think about.
Well,
We
speaking of Bungalow Bay, I have a project going up there. That's where I asked for that extra $10,000. And this is pretty much for kids, but we could, you know, I know where it's at now. But anyways, we're. Okay. We might be able to work in maybe a court up there, possibly. I mean, with this
We're gonna wash
program.
out with the flooding, so.
Yeah, I mean, I'll go there and take a look but, you know, that whole area, you know, we're gonna remove 50 railroad ties, to all 10 railroad ties are rotted. They're dangerous. And then put the border like we have up here, along there, put more gravel down, and we have the pea gravel that's starting to fall in. You know, what they recommend, our insurance company for the village recommends that gravel, that it has to be a certain amount of inches thick. Just like rehab that whole area. Oh, and also what's worked into it is, Jallian, how you pronounce it, but basically like a structure that goes over, that's gonna be over the tennis wall benches over there. So that's not so much for kids, but the playground part is.
Yeah, well, we have spent a lot of money on adults. So
What?
we have spent a lot of money on the parks on adults only lately.
Oh, no, I know, we have, but this would be for kids.
And we have some nice parties for kids, but
Yeah. Well, I could look into that, putting something up there, take a look, and if there's some, I mean, it probably would only cost maybe $1,000 or something like that. And, I'm thinking you can make it constructed similar to, the bocce ball courts up there, where you have that, I mean, you know more about it than I do, but having that, mat down, you know, the gravel and, the surface.
You can put it, you can put it on grass, you can put it, I mean.
Oh, is it better on gravel?
No, because you're not gonna be able to get in there to mow
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
I thought the same material as the bocce ball.
Yeah, I don't know how much that would cost for it, but, yeah, I mean.
Yeah, the bocce ball courts cost about $5,000 each, the best of everything.
Oh, on shuffleboard surface, that would be good.
That's concrete.
No, the shuffleboard surface.
Yeah. I mean, that's what if everyone's in agreement that I should look that direction, I'll look to maybe add a court up there. I did do some research and kids do play it, you know, it's hugely popular. So and there are a lot of kids up in that area.
It's only $300 and you can see through it.
We don't want to have anything that you have to put away or maintain or something. So we probably want to have something that's permanent, right?
Somebody could make one, so.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Okay, all right, well, I want to take.
all right, you guys can look at
But
it.
yeah, I'll add that into that project and see what it looks like.
Okay,
At least I'll present it to everybody and see what everyone thinks about
okay, Allen Streets.
We're meeting this Thursday to go over the drawings, to finalize the drawings. And we're still beginning to start the project at the beginning of July. So after we review the drawings, we'll go ahead and get it out for bid. Work on that. I've been in contact with 3 different asphalt road repair people. I'm focusing right now on getting some cold patch done, get some of the holes in the village filled in.
And you can hire CW again if you wanted to.
He's out here looking at them tonight, so.
it. All right.
Good news.
So hopefully we can make that happen. Not too much more. Met with a couple property owners over different issues. One of them is storm sewer. And I'm not quite sure I want to hire somebody to come out and do out one storm sewer because I got to believe in the spring we get into a lot more of those.
Cleaning and
Yeah.
American.
That's right, Gary and I talked about that. So
And I think they do more than one when they come. Bud, didn't you have those done?
I didn't last year because we had a dry season. I didn't want to spend the money. Typically, when Keith did it, he spent about $10,000 a throw, but when I talked to Mark at Dyna America, who was the contact then, may still well be, he says, "Oh, I can't tell you how many we did. You have to look at the map." So he keeps track of where he worked by circling the storm drain on his map.
that's not the same map we have in here, is it?
Yeah, that's a copy of his map.
We used to have a program when we did a circle model here.
We used to.
Yeah, it has been a long time since we've done it that way, but that's the way they used to do it.
I just couldn't justify the expense because we didn't have, you know how they're built. They got like 4 foot of fall before they get to the drain pipe. So that takes a long time to accumulate the debris. Now, when the guy called the one I just sent you at Richard and Beachside, that might be something different.
That pipe was plugged.
It's covered.
And it probably
Can't
dumps
even see
in,
it.
that one probably dumps into the lake.
No, that one dumps into the catch basin on the other side of the street, on the lake side of the street.
But does that one dump into the lake?
I couldn't find it in the lake, the water's up pretty high, so I couldn't find it in the lake, but there's a pipe that leads it. And the other catch basins are working fine. Even the other ones on Richard, which is only 2 or 3.
I was a coward to check those. I don't know when they've ever been checked. The lake side where it dumps into the lake, and I suspect they're probably being cleaned up.
Well, I'm gonna be getting all the Dyna American. I just don't know if it's cost effective to come out and do one drain. If in another month or 2, we're gonna have 10 others.
Well, you're probably right about that, so.
Pardon?
You're probably right about that, so you probably should see what they have to say.
Yeah. That's all I've got.
Okay. Alan?
I've got 2 cases in court right now. One is 9 Parkway Path violations, and the other was a operating a motor vehicle under the influence of alcohol. That defendant pled no contest, was found guilty. He'll be sentenced May 12th. And beyond that, I'm starting with what Gary and Tamitha provided, and that analysis of the new tax values for the village following the reappraisal. I've seized 10 properties that are out of whack that need to be reduced in value. And the worst is a buildable lot on Briarwood Boulevard, 227. Is that the lot that is going to be the park? No.
No, that's like 302 or 305.
Well, this property that went from a tax value of $700 to $47,120. So I think that needs to be challenged. And with your permission, I would like to apply on a theory that these are green space properties maintained as open areas by the village that enhances the value of the area. I'd like to apply for them to be tax exempt. And if that doesn't work, I can always apply for a reevaluation of the value. This is what I've done in the past by the Board of Revision. So that's what I'd like to proceed to do.
These are properties that are owned by the village.
Yes, they're all owned by the village.
Oh, we have one that's
A vacant lot on 227 Briarwood Boulevard. Because you own about.
too bad Leslie isn't here.
He has it on his computer right now.
You own the permanent parcel number?
I don't have that on this right there, Briarwood and Rusty Club. Looks like on my, I guess it'd be the southwest corner of it there.
Yeah.
But I think there's a house there.
Is that it?
That's that little yellow house is like.
It's not the yellow one,
The parcel number to find.
Well, your house.
I don't have it, I just have the addresses on this particular map.
I've got it right here. It's that number right above this line here, that property. That's the value. And I assume that it's lot number 327, but usually it's the same as the address.
Is that next to Amber's house?
No, it's on the other corner. It looks like the house that Seth goes had there on the corner.
Well, this is a vacant lot, and it's,
We
Yeah,
own
there's
one
no
down
lot
in
there.
Chippewa.
Or, you know, maybe that address might be on the other street.
well, I went by the permanent parcel number, and it is a vacant lot, it looks like it would be buildable. And it's worth $47,000. But I'd like to proceed that way with these and try to, either eliminate the taxes on it by getting the taxes in or reduce them.
I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and do it then. Nobody objects to that.
Not at all.
It's great.
Before the meeting, I was asking Gary about it, because
Right.
the Point Park went up asking on it.
Yeah. One of these is Point Park, one of these is, well, one that actually is rated at 0 value is Reese's Pond. They don't pay no taxes on it. So
Well, there you
they're
go.
right on about it, at least for the property.
You sure are investing a lot of money.
These properties are way out of line. These, new tax values are way out of line. Nothing has changed from year to year. They've gone from like 600, 800, all the way up to the 47,000. So I'll be working on that.
Were they just raising vacant lots? Because remember, Ed Nichols complained about the same thing. And somebody else, other people, it's mostly vacant lots.
Right. Well, I don't check any non-vacant lots, but these are all properties owned by the village. So I'll report on that
Okay.
as I progress with it. And that's all I've got.
Okay, finance, Gary?
Okay. Everybody signed in tonight, I hope. Thank you. Appreciate it. This past Saturday, I distributed the bank reconciliation for February to council, reflecting all accounts are in balance. Any questions, comments from council? Okay, and I have a motion approving the council sign off on the February bank reconciliation.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you. This past Saturday, I distributed the February appropriations report for your review. And just as a reminder, every department chair can look at the appropriations report every month and know exactly how much you've spent and how much you have available. So the budget should not be something that you're not understanding or don't have information on. If you have questions, please ask me. Because I hear a lot of talk tonight about spending and all that, look at your budgets, make sure you got the money in there. And if you don't, you got to get back to me. And if you need help reviewing it or understanding it, again, all you have to do is call. So on the February appropriations report, any questions, comments by council? May I have a motion approving council to sign off on appropriations?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, NOPEC sponsorship grant application supporting the Lions Club July 4th parade has been approved. Monies will be deposited directly into the Lions Club bank account. And I anticipate that Tom Melter will confirm once the monies have been received. Any questions or comments about the sponsorship grant? Okay. The village has been awarded $1,698 for the 2026 NOPEC grant. Coupled with the previous balance of $2,138, total monies available $3,836. We must spend no less than $447 by November 30th, or we lose that amount of available grant monies. Questions, comments from council?
Can you check to see if we can get cameras with that money?
Okay.
Sure. Okay. I'll report back to council on that.
Thank you.
On Saturday, I delivered to the mayor and council the legislation and the explanation of increases to the 2026 permanent appropriations. No other departments contacted me for any additional monies. Does council have any questions about ordinance 915-26 and the explanations that I provided? Okay. Alan, can you do the first reading, please?
First reading ordinance number 915-26, an ordinance to set permanent appropriations for the current expenses of the village of Chippewa, Lake State of Ohio during the year ending December 31st, 2026, and declare to be an emergency for the public peace, health, safety, and welfare.
That's the copy for signature.
Is there a motion to waive the second and third reading?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
A motion to adopt ordinance 915-26 as an emergency?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
And then I need Tamitha as council president to sign off on that on the legislation, please. I already commented to council about using PEP grant monies, deciding where you want to use them by October. Reason for that, it takes up to 2 months for PEP to issue the check. So I'd like to close it out at the end of the year, which is why I'm asking for a decision by October. Last month's meeting, we already covered the property taxes, so I don't have to talk about that. Other than to say, I've already paid $795.39 for the first half only versus $186.40 for the entire year last year. So if we don't make these adjustments, we're going to pay close to $1,600 this year versus $186 last year. Thus far, we have issued 2 soliciting permits. One is expired and one is active until April 17th. These are posted on the village webpage and updates are made as they occur. Westfield Bank has been acquired by First Financial Bank. They are headquartered out of Cincinnati, Ohio. I've been working with their local agents to assure a smooth transition, especially on ACH payments and deposits, also on our intra-fi high yield deposits. On Wednesday, I have a Zoom meeting with their agents again to reestablish remote deposit capabilities. Any questions on the bank changing hands? That's going to be effective March 16th.
Will they be in the same building?
Yes.
Westwood?
Same building, as of now. I've not heard of any closings or any changes. First Financial Bank does offer a program called Positive Pay. I did consider that while we were at Westfield, but there's a lot more fraud taking place these days than we've seen previously. This is a fraud prevention program that releases payments based on the bank receiving a daily report from me on checks and ACH transactions, and where I list the name of the payee and the amount of the check. The bank checks it against my list when they are sent to the bank for receipt or payment. And if the names and the amounts are not exact as they have on the report they get from me, they do not process the payment. I have asked the bank to waive the monthly fee. If council wants to proceed with this program, may I have a motion authorizing the fiscal officer to set up Positive Pay with First Financial Bank with monthly fees waived?
What is the benefit to us for doing this?
It avoids fraud. If someone modifies a check or an ACH deposit or receipt,
Okay,
the bank will not process it.
understood.
We need a motion for that?
If council wants me to proceed, yes.
And are we only proceeding if they waive fees, or have they already agreed to waive fees?
I'm waiting on a response from them. Burbank passed the same motion based on waiving the fees. If I get Chip to do the same, maybe that's enough leverage to push them into it. But it's up to you whether you want it either way, with or without fees.
I would make a motion based on that they are waiving the fees.
Okay?
Do we know what the fee is?
It's minimal, $30 a month. But I'm pitch penny, so I look to save every dollar, every
I
penny.
second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you. I will deliver the 2027 budget worksheets to the mayor and council before next month's council meeting. I will need input from council at the May meeting if they want to make changes to the budget that I will provide to them. Otherwise, my proposed budget will become the 2027 budget. Any questions, comments from council on 27 budget? Okay. As of the end of February, balance in the primary checking account, $399,435.06. Money market, $209,364.01. Star Ohio, $117,315.54. Total, $726,114.61. Any questions, comments from council on monies available? That's all that I have. Thank you.
Okay, is there any further old business? Okay, we'll go to the audience. Mark, you're back just in time.
Nothing.
I guess you could take it. Greg?
I have two things. So at the meeting today, Save the Lake, Nate was here, and it was very good, very informative. He talked extensively about Chippewa Lake Park 50-year anniversary. I think since it's closed, they're going to open the new structure on the end of Longacre. They're guessing at the end of May, so they're gonna make a big whoop-de-doo.
Wait, what's 50 years old?
Since the park closed.
No, it's not. I'm not that old yet.
No, that's phase 2, which is in
Okay.
70, or.
They had a 100-year celebration over there already.
There's a phase 1 and a phase 2.
That's phase 2. Okay, I almost had a meltdown. I'm not that old yet.
About phase,
Yeah,
first talking
28.
about phase 2 and now.
But phase 1 will be at the end of May. They're not sure of the day yet, but they're gonna make a big whoop-de-doo of it. And this is going to be one of their premier park sites. So my concern is, as Bud brought up, we have laws that we have a hard time enforcing or don't enforce. We talked endlessly about people parking where they shouldn't park. There's going to be a limited number of parking places there. So I think we have to be aware. And everybody in the village, just was suggested, if you see somebody parking where they shouldn't, or we have signs you can't park, to call the sheriff's department. But if what Nate is projecting is true, we're going to have a lot of visitors, and we need to be aware that we have signs telling.
Is that the only entrance? I mean, is there anything off the main drive where people can get in?
Not as now, as far as I know, it'll just be right at the end of Longacre. And I think it was 20, is that right? Parking.
20
Yeah, 20 parking places, and it's a half-mile loop that's basically completed, so they're gonna be pushing that, and they want lots of people to come, and even more people when phase 2 comes.
You talk about the loop, is that the one that goes back to the woods?
Yes, so it's a half-mile loop, it's crushed limestone, it's basically all completed.
And somebody has already driven either a Kubota or an ATV or a golf cart on the surface.
So that
They
was,
said no, they said they'll have signs for that there.
But
I know.
There's already tire tracks back there.
Yeah.
but the phase 2 will actually have blacktop or roads where people will be allowed to do golf carts and bicycles. So anyway.
That's pretty close to the Oaks parking lot. Maybe they'd have a bigger problem than we would.
But, you know, we have our beach where we're constantly having people park there without permits. So I think that's, as a resident, that's a big concern that we want to control and enforce the laws that we have, because we will have increased number of visitors.
I had a couple of people up on Bungalow Bay tell me they had looky-loos in the woods.
You know what?
Looky-loos parked scoping things out. So you gotta be aware, because it's kind of a hidden venue. And if you're up to no good, it's a perfect place to park and scope things out. Because you have a direct shot right over to the backside of Bungalow Bay and those streets and figure out into it.
My other question was, the status of that fishing sign that we talked about putting up for numerous months.
Where's that fishing sign, Tim?
What fishing sign? I'm sorry.
The one that we were gonna do last year, and it was gonna go to a committee for the,
By the
not a
beach
beach, it's not a beach, what is it? Access.
By that line.
It's lake access.
Oh, no fishing sign, okay, yes, yeah, that's gonna be, we have a sign, it's gonna be on the, fence right, by the beach and, the lake, that corner, where the tree is.
When?
When's it going up?
As soon as it gets warmer out, it's, she's right back away, we haven't purchased,
We haven't signed?
yes, and they look beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah, we were supposed to get them the whole last year, Tim, so.
What we got them in the winter. Yeah, we got them like 3 months ago. Yeah. Yeah, that's.
Are we still gonna paint, or have we talked to the residents about painting on the wall?
I thought we weren't doing that. We were just putting the sign.
Yeah, we're leaving that up to whoever owns that.
Along with painting on the wall, and I agree 100%, that's totally up to the residents. But, discussion about painting it on the wall on the property that the village owns, the question is.
We can do that if it, if it makes sense.
The comment came up that people wouldn't see it, but the people fishing would.
Yeah.
They go right up to the wall. So forget the private property, but if we stencil that right on the wall, like, you know.
It's not a bad idea, it would cost nothing, stencil and,
And they would see it, another reminder.
yeah, the sign is really big, I mean, it's like, yeah, I'm sure that's locked over here, yeah, it's.
Great.
I'm very proud of those signs.
Good, glad you got it done.
Yeah. Yeah, that's very important. And, we actually extended, I believe, 100 feet, it's on the side, on either side of the lake access area.
Did you get a copy to sign?
No, I have not. I've been waiting.
It doesn't have anything to do with fishing, but what would the collective opinion be about the streets that we designate as being okay to park on? What do you think about parking lines on the street to indicate that?
Yeah.
There's some on Bass Bay.
Parking spots.
Yeah, down the bottom. By beachside, across the street from Naples, up through there.
No fish.
There's not any in front of my house, but there is some down that way.
So 100 feet on either side.
Well, what's council think about doing that? For the streets that allow parking, to paint park spots. Like you'd see in Seville.
That's inviting people to park.
Yeah, they're allowed to park.
I know, but let's leave that to the residents that would know that they're allowed to park there, instead of people driving around the village and saying, oh, there's a parking spot, and they don't actually live here. That's just inviting non-residents to park there. Just my opinion.
There are more people that park on those marked spots on my street than the rest of the street, I will say that. I don't know if it's because those things are painted there or not.
I understand your point, Tamara, but we only have 3 streets where it's okay to park.
Right.
And as a result, people park where they're not supposed to because they don't know where they can park.
We start using the tow truck, that'll stop.
Yeah, we can't do that, Mark, don't bring it up.
I do think even if we paint
Because we have no
spots,
place to
people
go.
are still gonna park in the spots that they're not supposed to, because they're not gonna care. Yeah.
No, we don't.
When we get ticket them though, $30 ticket.
Cheap parking.
Okay, where were we? Are you done? Right. Debbie?
No. Thank you for everything you guys do, and in 2 weeks, it'll be spring.
Okay. Lisa?
Yeah.
Thanks for taking care of the website. Okay, we'll get to new business.
I did forget to mention that the water's working. A month ago it didn't, the cold water wasn't working, and now I came in to fix it the other day, it was working, so I have no idea
Why
why.
you got frozen?
Well, not there, but I don't know. The hot water was working, but the cold wasn't. Now they're both working, so that's fixed. Did anybody else get this? Habitat for Humanity letter? It was in my packet from Gary.
Yeah.
I got one too. Did we all get one?
I believe so.
I think we all got one.
Okay, and then Gary, you had sent out something from NOPEC about a solicitation policy from NOPEC. Was that do not knock or something like that?
Right.
Do you have that information?
I don't have that with me.
It's on my dining room table. It's a great place for Charlie to eat it.
Right, they were suggesting a list and it be published
Yeah,
of people
you
who
can
do
sign
not
up.
want people coming to their front door.
Yeah, you can sign up and your name would be almost like a do not call registry.
Right,
You can sign up for this and you'd be on the do not solicit registry as well. And it would be like anybody that ever wanted to solicit in the village.
Is that a link that we can put on our website?
I'll get that information to Lisa.
Okay.
It's on my dining room.
Okay.
So, and then, oh, yeah, that's it. That's it.
Okay, I got, in my packet, I got this letter from the Office of Adult and Senior Services. And they have an advisory committee, an advisory council on aging and disability, in which they have a monthly meeting and they discuss different issues for the senior citizens. And they will take an appointment of somebody from the village, doesn't have to be a council person, just anybody that would be interested in going to these meetings once a month. We've got the list here of the meetings. They have different sections here for cities and townships and so forth. And for villages, they've got 2 spots, and Carol Carter, the mayor of Seville, has one of them. But there's another village one empty, if anybody's interested in doing this.
Say one meeting now?
Yeah. It seems to be at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, once a month. Usually it looks like around the end of the month, like the 26th on to the end. You want to see this? Because if they don't point somebody from the other villages, if you'd like to do it, take your mom up there.
Can I keep this?
Yeah, that thing I had to put on the table is from that group too. They have a lot of activities and they have a lot of that, I think the senior bus service and who knows? That might be something you'd be good at, Barbie. Okay, so is there any other new business? If anybody else is interested in that, let me know. And if no other village comes forward, somebody could be on there.
I have a question for Barb. So talk to us about your stair event.
Oh, I survived.
Well, tell us what you did.
I did the American Lung Association stair climb at the Key Tower a week ago,
How many stairs?
1,254,
A lot of stairs.
54 floors,
Where at?
Key Tower.
Where's that?
Downtown.
Tallest building, It's the tallest building between Chicago and New York City,
Good for you.
That's impressive.
15 minutes.
Oh.
Jeez. Oh,
If it has any days,
wow.
And the climate, the air is, I mean, which I think is interesting because, I mean, this is for, my best friend from high school had cystic fibrosis and she passed away at age 31 from it. And she was my teammate, she ran cross country, which is like uber, like amazing. She passed away from that, but I did not, which I didn't realize, but my sister passed away from lung cancer, my father did too. And I thought that that was something that came under the umbrella of the American Cancer Society, but that is included into the American Lung Association as well. And I probably coughed, like, I don't know what people smoke, like what it's like, but, for a week. I mean, probably last Thursday was probably the first day that I did not cough. The air in the stairwell was so dry. It's insane. And after all the civilian, I guess, climbers went up, then they had all the paramedics and firemen that went up. And it's a fundraiser. I think I raised $356 for it. But the firemen, the different fire battalions in the area, Cuyahoga County, put together teams and stuff, and they climbed it as well in full turnout gear with tanks.
Oh.
And I did a little field trip last year. A friend of mine, her husband is a firefighter down in Ostrander, so fighting field trip, and he let me put his turnout gear on. I could not imagine. I mean, just for me, it was 15 minutes, and these guys did it quicker than that. I did it in 15 minutes, but these guys were in full gear, young, and did it in less than 15 minutes. And then just in my mind, after doing the climb, to imagine doing that in a fire with smoke and heat and everything else. And then, I mean, as I was climbing those stairs, I immediately started thinking of like 9/11.
Right.
And how some of those firemen made it all the way to the top of that tower before it collapsed. It's just really impressive, but I was coughing for a week just from the.
So you're not gonna join the fire department as a fireman?
I don't think I'm young enough. I have the dog, I can have the dog sit in the fire truck, but no, but it was very, I'll do it again. Because it's for a good cause and just again, just the firemen, to support the firemen, firefighters, they had paramedics, firefighters, everybody, it was really impressive. So, but thank you, and I don't know why I brought that up, but
Because I want to embarrass you.
those marks, yeah, you did a good job.
Impressive.
It wasn't, it's neat, so I'll do it again.
I can tell you just get up my stairs.
I did it back in my
That
friend.
takes a while.
Yeah, my friend who had cystic fibrosis, the two of us did back in, I want to say 85, and it was at the Old Cave, maybe? I don't think it was quite as much of a climb, but she did it. I was a successful runner in school, but nothing that I did compared to the achievement that she did by just overcoming cystic fibrosis to running 5K. So,
Okay, we need one more motion.
adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? If you're opposed, vote
This is what.